What's up, Madridistas? Hello and welcome to the Managing Madrid Podcast. Kiyan Sobhani here. In a moment, I'm going to be joined by my great friend and great podcast host, Will, Mr. Factuous. I'm excited. We got a big episode coming today. We're going to talk about Real Madrid's chances of winning La Liga. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty, the schedules of the remaining big three, the remaining schedule of the big three, and kind of go through it and see, is this realistic or not? How likely is it that Real Madrid will win La Liga? Uh, Before we get started, I just want to give a special um, note to everyone who lives in the United Kingdom. If you live in London or if you're traveling to London for Real Madrid's game against Arsenal, I'm really excited to see you because we're going to be there to cover the Arsenal game. And we have enough listeners in London where I'm like, why don't I just stay an extra day and just hang out with you guys? So the game is on April 8th. And on April 9th, so El Dia Después, we're going to do a podcast in London. If you live in London or you're going to be in Arsenal for the, or you're going to be in London for the Arsenal game, stick around with us. And April 9th, come hang out with us. We're going to do a post-game show. I'm going to be there. Heridium's going to be there. I think Sam Sharp is going to drive up. We got other content creators who are going to be in attendance. We got a room full of Madridistas who you'll connect with, meet, and we got other Champions League games going on that night. So Barca Dortmund, that's the bloodbath that we're going to watch together. And I think there's another game. So we're going to be doing a watch along, Q&A, just hanging out, podcasting, watching football together. It's going to be a ton of fun. I put the link in the chat. It's also in the show notes. And I'd love to see you guys in London. Come hang out. It's going to be a great time, okay? Book your spot. Link is in the show notes. Also, a shout out to our presenting sponsors, tacsports.ca. If you're in Toronto, you got kids in Toronto. That's the big one. If you have kids in Toronto, you want to sign up your kids to the best coaching, whether it's football, basketball, soccer. March break camps you missed the window on that. But June, July, summer camps, you want to sign up your kids, go to tacsports.ca. and sign up for the best coaching in Toronto, hands down, the best facilities. TAFC Academy, shout out to you guys, and thanks for everything that you do for Toronto. TACsports.ca. Also, a shout out, as you can see, Moji Mates, MOJI-MATES.com, Moji-Mates.com. Get swag, Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, Kylian Mbappe. We need to get a Mariano Diaz one designed for Will, because we need to get some Mariano Diaz. So, Daniel, if you're listening, get some Mariano Diaz swag on your website as well. Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., the works, Alfredo Di Stefano, the legend himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldo Nazario. They're all over there on moji-mates.com. Get your swag. And without further ado, we got a big episode coming up today discussing Real Madrid's chances at yet another La Liga title. Let's bring in Will, and let's get to it.
Nice article in the Managing Madrid blog. Wonderful lads that do a great job there. And it's worth reading about that man there. Karim Benzema needs to rest, and the numbers reveal why.
Times ended up almost looking like a 6-3-1. Some very good writing about that on the Managing Madrid website. First-rate podcast as well. Of course, Fede Valverde was a huge part of the equation.
What's up, Will?
Hello. How are we doing? Finally, we're back.
We're back. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
You know what, man? Every time I talk with you, I'm doing, greater. I'm doing better. Actually, you talked about Mariano Diaz. Let me tell the people. Um, he's a free agent right now, but he actually played his first game with his national team. And no, I am not talking about Spain. I'm talking about Dominican Republic. He played his first friendly since like 2014. And guess what? Guess what he did?
Hat trick.
Okay, not a hat trick, but he did score. And he looks fine, bro. He looks in form. So any club listening to this podcast that is not Real Madrid, talk to me. I'm his agent. and we'll see what we can negotiate.
We do need a target in the box. Can we get Mariano Diaz on Real Madrid special teams? Just throw him on for 30 seconds at the end. See if he can get it
Hey,
on the
bro,
end of a Lucas Vasquez cross.
he can probably do something, man. I'm gonna talk with Florentino.
All right, cool. Let's while that is in the works, hopefully we can get that done this summer. Let's talk about La Liga, Real Madrid. I'll be really honest with you, bro. And I
Uh-huh.
mentioned this to Lucas yesterday. Out of the three competitions that we are still in, which are obviously Copa del Rey, La Liga, and the Champions League, the one I'm skeptical of the most of us winning is the league. And I think it's because it just requires a certain level of consistency
Hmm.
over a pretty large sample size that I just don't really trust us to do on this you know on the back of a Carlo Ancelotti title defense, which is an oxymoron in itself to say that.
It's gonna be tough, bro. It's gonna be tough. Knowing the record that we basically like, have we ever won a league back to back leagues? Not in my lifetime. Not
It
since I
has
started
happened in your lifetime, but it's been so long ago that you forgot. It was 2007, 2008.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. I started watching football like last year, so I probably didn't see that. And it's also I saw a stat that I talked to you last week. That basically Madrid from the last few years we've had a worse league point ratio every time the second half of the league starts. So from January to like June and like May, we have a worse league point ratio than the first 4 months of the league, which is bad. It's horrible. And it's been happening even in the season we won the league, which was 1920, 21-22. Those seasons we've had a worse record. And let's not ignore this Barca team. So right now the league is Barca. We all have the same matches played finally, and Barca is at the top with 63 points. Madrid is second with 60, and then Atleti is third with 56 at the point of recording this podcast. It's looking tough, bro. Honestly, it's not looking good. Out of the three competitions, this one looks a bit tough. And it's like you said, the consistency, bro. Out of the three teams, isn't Real Madrid the most inconsistent in the league? Performance wise. Because maybe not result wise, because we get results. But what about performance wise?
There's two things that I don't trust. So I don't trust us, and I don't trust Barca's opponents. And Barcelona's schedule is honestly like not that bad. Now, look at this, Will. You tell me where Barca are dropping points here.
Okay.
Girona next week at home,
They're getting spanked.
Real Betis at home, Leganés away, Celta Vigo at home, Mallorca at home, Valladolid away, Real Madrid at home, Espanyol away, Villarreal at home, Athletic in San Mamés, which, by the way, is the one game I think they may drop points, but it's the last game on the schedule, and the league might be over by then anyway.
Right. I
I don't
think
see it.
so. Looking at these Barca matches, I think we can have hope for a few games. I think Betis at home. Let's see how they deal with that because they drop points against Betis away. Let's see what they do with that.
hmm
Betis now have the best player in the league, which is Anthony. So let's hope Anthony can perform like he usually does. I mean, then honestly, bro, I think their last four games are tougher than Madrid's last four games and Atleti's last four games. So I think if we keep the league alive by May, by the 11th of May, I think we might have a chance. Because what's going to happen in that Clasico? Are we going to get spanked again? Hopefully not. Hopefully Ancelotti has learned something. Hopefully we can get a draw or even win at their stadium, the Montjuic Stadium. Espanyol away is a tough game for them. They always have a tough game against Espanyol. It's a derby. Espanyol love to take points from Barca. They hate Barca, and I think they drop points against Espanyol in the first leg of the season. And then Barca versus Villarreal. Villarreal usually gets spanked by Barca, but we have a chance if we keep the league alive by the Clásico, and we do not lose that Clásico, I think there's a chance for us to win the league. And if you compare the last four games of Barca versus the last four games of Madrid and Atleti, I think they have the worst. They have the harder last four games. The problem is what we know about this Barca team is they probably will beat the other teams, the Mallorca, Valladolid, Vigo. They're gonna be consistent with them. That's the problem with Madrid. I don't know if we're gonna beat, Vigo or Getafe away. Those are the tough games for Madrid.
So that's I think the point I would move into. So this is our schedule. So we have Leganes at home tomorrow. We have Valencia at home after that. Alaves away. Athletic at home. Getafe away. Celta at home. Barca away. Mallorca at home. Sevilla away. And then Real Sociedad at home on the last match day. I just think like even though these are all games where Real Madrid are the better team, with the exception of Barcelona, which, you know, if you're a Madridista yelling at me and saying, don't be a loser, we're better than Barca, you're weak, blah, 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 cool, equal, Real Madrid are better, have fun. Have fun, whatever you want to believe. I just feel like, I don't know how you feel, Will, but just watching Real Madrid play and watching Barcelona play week in, week out,
Mm.
against the same opponents, there's just there's an ease that Barcelona play with against their opponents that I feel like Real Madrid don't have. If we have, if we're playing against, I don't know, Osasuna or Mallorca. Osasuna is maybe a bad example. Let's say, I don't know, just pick your team. The margin of error that Barcelona has is just greater, I find. Real Madrid are just grinding it out. They're kind of laboring through these games, and they're not really playing well. Whereas when I see Barcelona play, and you can include the game yesterday, they're just more dominant, and they get the job done with a higher degree of goals and a higher degree of margin. And the discrepancy between them and their opponents seems bigger than when I watch Real Madrid play. Now you reflect back, Will, on that stretch where Barca did drop points in like 7 games, like 6 out of 7, I think it was. I don't remember the
Yeah.
exact number, right? So they lost against Las Palmas, they lost against Leganes. Can't remember who else, but so obviously they have the potential to drop points, but they've been pretty much lights out for a while now, and I don't know if they slowed down, and I don't know if the opponent can slow them down. So just if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person to clip this and say and just dunk on myself, and I'm gonna celebrate with that clip. I hope it goes viral and I get embarrassed.
Yeah. Hopefully
And
you're super wrong.
yeah, and I hope I'm super wrong, and I'm going to hang up this clip in like digitally in my office and celebrate. I'd love to be wrong, but
Yeah,
just it's a
bro.
lot to ask.
Hopefully you lose like all the reputation you've earned.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not go too far, okay? Let's not.
Okay. My bad, my bad.
But it's just a lot to ask to like trust us to be consistent from now until end of May, and for Barca to drop points.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask. Atletico, I'm out on Atletico. They're third to me. I don't think they're actually
Yeah.
legitimately in this title race.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I don't think Atletico is in this race. I think it's only Madrid and Barca. And bro, I'm gonna say a theory, and I've been thinking about this theory a lot lately, and I think it's confirmed. I think, guys, I have a theory that I think Real Madrid players actually do not care about the league. I think Real Madrid players genuinely do not care about winning the league. Like I think Real Madrid players hate going to Getafe, and it's in Madrid, and like it's like they don't care about it. It's like, oh my god, now we have to go to this stadium, and now we have to go to Sevilla. Like I think that actually they do not care about the league. The only person that cares about the league and the institution, I think it's Ancelotti and his staff, and they only care about it because, like, if they get spanked, they might lose their job. But I honestly believe the culture in this club, players just don't care about the league. And the reason they don't care about the league, it's not like they hate it or something. It's they just care way more about the Champions League. And they've also had a lot of problems with referees, and it's they have this mindset. It's like this league is kind of corrupted, and it's like I honestly believe they don't care about the league, and you can see it when they play. There's no way. And listen, bro, we can talk about Ancelotti and we can talk about the tactics, but you can see it in the attitude. Like they only care when they play in the
The
Bernabeu.
urgency. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You can see the urgency. You can see like they believe they're better than every team, which is actually true, and they just don't care about it. And it makes sense because it happens to all of us when we are in a team and we play. Like you play in your Sunday league something. I don't know. You play your like football with your friends, and you play against a team that you know you're just better than them. You don't care. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Oh, we lose. Like it's okay. We know we're still better. Like it's okay. We lost. Like who cares, right? We're still in the
It's
Champions League.
like when you go up to record Los Futbolitos, you're like, yeah, whatever. But when you come to managing Madrid, you're like,
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
is when
The
is
magic
on the line.
happens.
Yeah, the magic
Yeah.
happens here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it has to do directly with the co-host, right? But I believe, bro, honestly, they don't care about that. As long as they are alive in the Champions League, they don't care about the league. And if they win it, it's cool. We won it. Yeah, Barca dropped a lot of points. We got it. I don't think they care about the league. I don't think Florentino even cares about the league, to be honest. I think they care more about the Copa del Rey. If they're like in a semifinal or final, they care more about winning that title than the league, bro. I don't think they care about it.
Uh, I mean, Ancelotti in his book literally says that Florentino told them prioritize the Champions League.
Oh
Like,
shit.
yeah. So you're not wrong. And
Yeah.
look, it's just for me, it's a matter of consistency. You know what would, funny enough, if what would give me more confidence to win the league? Like if you took this exact remaining schedule for Real Madrid and made every single game a knockout game, they would probably win them all. But because it's like in a league format and it's like, oh, okay, well, you might drop points or not. But like if there's like urgency, like no, this is like you're eliminated if you lose it, they approach it totally differently.
Yeah.
Um, so it's kind of it's a psychological thing for me where they just don't get up for the league as much as they should. And again, I'd love to be proven wrong. And I always say like it's kind of a flex when you say, okay, well, you just show up for the Champions League and win it, but it's kind of not a flex where you just that inconsistent. You don't have as many league titles as you should if you're Real Madrid. I think there's been, as despite them having so many league titles, you could definitely argue they've missed out on a ton of league titles that they should have won because of this exact lack of urgency in the league. So, um, what do you think? You kind of asked the question earlier, but that Clasico on May 11th. I mean, I wouldn't say the league is over by then. I don't think that will happen. I think mathematically it'll still be alive. And if it is, that game is going to be massive. If you're within 3 points of Barca at that Clasico, then that game is going to be it's going to be basically a final.
Literally. Yeah. I think honestly, I think we have like we can win that game. I think we can go there and win it. Especially if we go with our Gala 11, right? Which is Valverde at right back and like Ceballos in midfield.
He'll
And
be back by
Tchouameni.
then.
Yeah, he'll be back by then. And Mbappe is in a better form than the last two Clásicos. Let's see how Vini is doing. Asensio is a starter. I think, honestly, we can win that Clásico. And because it's a final and players probably care about that game, they're gonna show up, and I think we're gonna win it. But like honestly, bro, we can also we can also lose. I don't think we'll get spanked. Because I think like we've changed a lot the starting 11 has changed a lot since the last Clásico, especially the Valverde thing at right back. I think that's a game changer. Um, but I think our main problem is our left back position. Like they're going against Lamine Yamal, bro. I'm sorry, guys, but that's one of the best players in the world. He can cook from there, and that's probably gonna be our weaker side.
You know what that you sound like, Angelo? Remember when during the Super Cup, we like right before the game, we were saying all these same things. Real Madrid are better now, and Mbappe's in form now, and then they come back and they beat us even worse. So I
Can we
don't
get
know
spanked again, bro? Can the global score in 3 games be like 15-2? No way, right?
how much. I kind of want to see how the a potential and let's be honest, pretty likely Copa del Rey
Bro.
Clasico. Would
Yeah.
that be before this game or after?
Bro, I think it'd be before, but let me confirm that, right? Let's confirm that. Copa del Rey final. It's um it's 26th of April, so yeah, it'll be before.
Yeah.
April 26th.
So we'll see how that would go before any. I don't know. I look. Um, I would hope that because it wasn't. I mean, there was a tactical gap in those two games, but there was also just weird things that we can't really explain, like body language wise,
Right.
about how bad we looked, our demeanor, our lack of defending, the giving up part, like all of that stuff, the mental state of the team during those Clasicos. I would think and hope that everything, the urgency would be raised, in a Copa del Rey final or with that
Right.
League Clasico.
Right.
Another point, and this is getting way ahead of myself, but um, it actually, I'm not saying you win that Clasico 5-0. I'm like, we're not even at a stage where we can even draw against Barca this season. So that
Yeah.
would be a big step. The first step is just beating them, not winning 5-0.
Yeah.
But there are actually like real reasons to actually not only beat them, but actually try to go for more against them. And
100%.
because Ancelotti's thing with Barca has always been, our goal is not to humiliate Barca, it's to win. And like that was a question that he was actually asked after the one of the Clasicos that we won recently, where we only won by one goal, and he said, our our issue, our goal is not to humiliate Barca. So it actually, there is an incentive to run up the score line and try to get the head to head ahead of them. Like again, this is way ahead of ourselves now.
I
Okay,
agree.
yeah,
So before I want to keep talking about this Clásico, and I just want to tell the people changes in the starting 11. So the starting 11 when we lost 4-0 in the Bernabeu,
yeah,
Lunin was the keeper,
yeah,
Lucas Vasquez was the right back,
yeah,
and we had Camavinga as the left midfielder and Bellingham as the right midfielder. So the team has changed completely since then.
yes, yeah,
And then on the 5-2, we had Lucas Vasquez again as a right back and Tchouameni as a center back. Besides Lucas Vasquez, we know how horrible
yeah,
that pair is when they're together in the same back four. And we had Camavinga also as a start of that game, which Camavinga had a pretty poor game to be honest.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Um,
he had a
s-
nightmare. Yeah,
yeah, that day. So the starting 11 has changed drastically. And if we go against basically what was our most important game since that game against Atletico, right in the Champions League,
yeah,
the team lineup has changed a lot. So basically, our last knockout game against Atletico, we had in the lineup we had Valverde as a right back, Raul Asensio, who was not a starter for any of those games. That's a massive improvement on our team.
yeah,
And we have Bellingham as a left midfielder, which is probably his best position, and then Rodrigo goes as a right midfielder. And we have Modric, probably replace Modric with Ceballos. And I honestly think uh, we're just a better team now, a better balanced team, right? More balanced. So I don't think we're gonna get spanked. Um, I think we could literally win, and let's see what's gonna happen in that Copa del Rey final because we can win the final, win the Clásico in May, and it's 2-2, bro. Let's see each other at the Champions League final again. See who laughs last.
I do like the fact that the Clasico story is far from over this season.
Yeah,
It's, this could be a 5-game series, and you could win two of the next three, possibly the next three, and then the narrative and the way we talk about these two teams by the end of it could completely change.
yeah.
I think the biggest important point about this entire discussion is what you literally just brought up and the difference in the lineup since then. Vasquez, starting Vasquez at right back has been like starting with 10 men, you know.
Yeah.
And it's harsh, but those of you guys who are watching these games know it's not actually harsh to say that. He's been a huge defensive liability. Fede Valverde there has been a huge upgrade. and we have a better version of Camavinga now, which was a huge thing because look, I'm I was thinking about this today. I was kind of writing down, and I do this exercise, Will, where I write every single day, and I've been doing this for a long time. Even if I don't publish something, I just like the exercise of writing to see, just get kind of, it makes me think mentally. And I was just writing down like these are the questions I have of Real Madrid without any answers, but questions of like if these questions are all answered in a positive way, we can literally possibly win all three tournaments. My first question is, can Tchouameni and Camavinga rise to the occasion at the stretch of the season? We need them now more than ever. We already pretty much have a guarantee that Fede and Jude Bellingham are going to perform and put effort in. We don't really have to waste time thinking about that. We know those guys are reliable. We're not. We don't really feel that way about Tchouameni and Camavinga right now. We don't know what version we're going to get every time we log on and open the stream and see what they're going to do. If those guys perform at their best, this is huge. Don't have Cruz. Ceballos is injured. Modric is old. Can you guys, for the love of God, please? You've been here for 3-4 years. Please just show up. Like we need you to show up. Camavinga has showed up against Atletico. That was great to see. Tchouameni has done a little bit better, but we need them to finish the season strong. My other question would be, can we finish our chances? Vinny and Mbappe right now are missing easy chances. They're scoring difficult ones, especially Mbappe. But we're generating a decent amount of chances that we're not putting away. Finish your chances. That's question number 2. The third one would be, are we going to get the best version of Ceballos when he comes back? He might be back. I'm Arsenal first leg, I'm not counting on that. Even second leg, it might be off the bench. They're very optimistic that he might be back for the first leg now. But let's say it's for the PSG game in the semifinals. Can you get Ceballos back to his best? I had a fourth question. I don't remember what the fourth question was. Oh, our left back situation is ass. Last season it was ass. But last season, at the very least, Ferland Mendy came good in the knockout stages. Can Ferland Mendy wake up now and just play some good defense? If you get those 4 things happening for you, I think you can close the season really strong and make a push and win 1 to 2 to 3. Hopefully the Champions League. After this horrible season, if you win the Champions League, everything else is bonus.
Yes, I think the only problem with winning the Champions League is my man Ancelotti stays, but that'd be another conversation for another podcast. I agree, bro. If we can get those 4 questions answered, Ceballos will be back by then. And I think there are 2 more players other than Tchouameni and Camavinga who have improved massively these last few months. There are 2 players that their form just has dipped this year, and it's Vinicius Junior and Bellingham. If we get them back too, and we just get them back to their usual level, the ceiling of this team just raises a lot. It reminds me of the 21-22 season. I remember you talking a lot about if Vinny is now on a threat and is now a world class player, which he eventually became a world class player. He's been a world class player since that season. Our attacking ceiling just goes to another level. I think the first half of the season, Vini and Bellingham were performing, and Mbappe was underperforming. Now Mbappe is performing, and now I think Vini and Bellingham are just a bit behind. So if we get them back too, literally, bro, the sky is the limit. And let's not forget this video, this podcast, everything is about the league. We're in for a treble run. We just don't talk about it because we don't think it's gonna happen. But we're
Yeah.
in it. We're probably in the Copa del Rey final already. We could win a treble. If it happens, bro, literally we might have to hang up like the boots and just retire from podcasting. Because what team wins a treble with that first half of the season we did, right? But we're in it. We could still win 3 of them. So yeah, hopefully those questions get answered.
If we win the treble, I know we said like the turkey hair transplant thing. Let's like if we win the treble, we have to do something.
Oh, if we win the treble, every listener that subscribe or something, we'll give you $1,000 just because we're gonna get rich out of those clips. So I'll give you $1,000. That's on me, Kian. And if we win the treble, we're not only gonna get the turkey hair transplant, bro. We have to. I don't know, man. We have to like get also like an abs transplant or something. Like, we have to do something crazy. Actually,
I,
you know what? We'll get Lucas to the hair transplant. What about that? We'll do the three of us.
I have to be really honest with you. I've had like in the last like few days, literally, I've had a 180 turn on the hair transplant. I really, really enjoy being bald.
Oh, me too, man.
It's
Honestly,
super
yeah,
easy,
convenient.
convenient. I
I agree,
it's
bro.
I don't want hair. I was at first I was like, man, kind of wish my hair didn't go, but now I'm like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really
I agree,
loving it.
bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, great.
To the point where I'm like, I feel bad for people who have hair now. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Sorry, bro. I just, if you need to
I love your
shave.
mentality, bro. It's that Mbappe mentality, man.
All right. So, anything else on? I know we wanted to do kind of like a little exercise here where we do a combined 11 of the big three in La Liga. Anything else on the schedule or La Liga before we move to that?
No, I think we have a fun La Liga title race to look forward to. So let's do that. And
Okay.
now let's do a combined 11 between Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico. Which team has the best players? Which team has the most players in this combined starting 11? Let's do it, bro. You want to start with your goalkeeper and defense?
Sure. Courtois.
Oh, so no Oblak, no Chesney, bro. Chesney's been good.
Courtois. Um, Carvajal.
Wait, what? So you'd rather have Carvajal with an ACL with literally no muscle in his right leg than Kunde or other right backs? Just actually, I will tell you this
I
because
mean,
this is
I
allowed.
just assume we're going on like in the past year or so before the injury. Carvajal
No,
is
bro. No,
the
bro.
best right
Like
back in the world.
Carvajal is not able for like he's injured. Like, he
Okay, so
cannot
you're
get into
saying
the
like
squad.
this is a lineup that you have to put out tonight,
This
like
is handicap, bro. Yes, you have to put it out tonight, Champions League final against Steaua Bucharest.
against Bucharest. I'd put Carvajal with an ACL tear over Vasquez. No, okay. So in that case, well, it doesn't change too much other than Carvajal, I think. In that case, I'll go with Kunde, Asensio, Inigo Martinez, and Balde.
That's a great defense, bro, and a
Thank
great
you.
goalkeeper. I think Chesney has a chance. I think if this would be instead of managing Madrid, managing Barca, if Barca wins the Champions League, bro, which is possible, and there's a picture of Chesney with the Champions League trophy and a big cigar, that's gonna hit, bro. That's honestly gonna hit. Uh, but I think Courtois is obviously the keeper here. I think it's pretty obvious. I know how Messi fans felt when they used to say if Messi's healthy, he should win the Ballon d'Or. If Courtois is healthy, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I basically have the same defense. I have Inigo Martinez, Asensio, Balde. My right back, I put Fede Valverde, bro. Honestly, uh, I put Fede Valverde because if I didn't put Fede Valverde as a right back, I'm missing one of the big guys up front. So I'm putting Valverde as a right back.
Interesting. That's. I mean that you don't have to convince me. I I sign up for that too. I have Fede in midfield, obviously. But I don't hate the idea of Fede at right back. So then, who's your midfield then?
So in my midfield, I'm having Bellingham, which is obvious, and Pedri, which is obvious. Like those two are locked in. I'm struggling with the defensive midfielder. I think Tchouameni is done a great second half of the season. I think Camavinga is good, but I probably have to go with a. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a double pivot of Bellingham and Pedri, and I'm cheating here, bro, because I'm a cheater, and I'm going with Rafinha as the like cam as the attacking midfielder
Like a Di
because
Maria.
like a Di Maria vibe. This guy needs to be in the squad because I think the front three it's pretty obvious who they're gonna be, and I think Rafinha needs to be there, bro. He's probably Barca's best player this season.
Yeah, so basically you shifted Fede at to right back so that you can fit in all these attackers.
Yeah,
Um,
so I can fit in Rafinha because he needs to be
yeah.
there.
So the rest of the lineup I think gets interesting because now we start getting into debates in like how good they are and what form they're in. So my midfield was Fede, Jude, and Pedri, and I would have like a Fede, Fede, Pedri double pivot with Jude just ahead of them, and then I had Vinny and Mbappe and Lamine Yamal. So I exclude Rafinha, even though he's having a better season than Rami. I can't say anything than Lamine Yamal because of you could just put Lamine Yamal on the right wing. He's having a great year as well, obviously. And even though Rafinha has been better than Vinny this season, I think Vinny is overall the better footballer. So because of that, I won Vinny on the left wing, and then I have Mbappe, who you can't bench. So I excluded Rafinha. I also think you could even argue a case for Rodrigo over Vinny. You could, based on form. I still think Vinny is the best player out of all these players available. So he has to start because you're going based on pedigree and ability to turn the game on its head, the ceiling that he provides. By the way, we're getting into the thick of the season. This is where I expect Vinny to come alive. I think Vinny is going to come alive against Arsenal. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think if you base it just on form and like is we're doing like the team of the week, Vinny's probably not getting into the starting 11. Um, and Rafinha probably gets his spot, even over Rodrigo. In your starting 11 at least. But bro, like if we go in, who's the better player? And I think Vinny still is top three best players in the world. Let's not forget, it was this season that Vinny carried us against Dortmund in the Champions League. It was this season that Vinny basically just became the star in the first few months while Mbappe was doing his stuff, doing nothing basically. Vinny was carrying us in the offense. So my attack is Vini, Lamine Yamal, and Mbappe. I think Mbappe is great. I think the only Atletico player that comes close to the starting 11 is Julian Alvarez, because I think like he's probably a better striker than Lewandowski, but he's just not better than Mbappe. I think those two have to get in. I understand Barca fans if they don't want Vini in the lineup, but that's why I put Valverde as a right back because I need Rafinha in it as well. Uh, and that's my team. And funnily enough, in my squad, I have more Barca players than Madrid players. And guys, I'm a Barca hater. Um, what about in your squad? How many Barca players do you have?
Kunde, Inigo, Balde, Pedri, Lamine, 5.
So you have six Madrid players, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Sounds like this is an objective podcast.
but do you think, what's interesting is that despite a collective poor season, we've had individual players play really good. Fede and Jude, Asensio, these guys are obviously all very deserving. Carvajal would have been there if he didn't tear his
Yeah,
ACL.
true.
He was great before he got injured. So I think it's fair.
I
And
think
then,
the craziest. Oh, sorry, you want to go?
no, go for
I
it.
think the craziest part about this lineup is how in the hell, like, who would have told us 6 months ago that a guy named Raul Asensio was going to be in this squad?
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
isn't that the craziest thing ever? And I agree with Matt because I saw one of his tweets that Matt says Raul Asensio has literally been the best defender in Real Madrid this
Yeah.
season, the best center back. It's true. Isn't that crazy, bro? That guy was like playing in Castilla a few months ago. I cannot
Yeah.
believe this.
Yeah. Matt took it even further, and I actually agree with him. And he said that there's no one you could have signed as a central defender who would have been better, who would have performed better than Raul Asensio, including
Yeah,
Lenny Yoro.
yeah. Honestly, it's crazy.
Yeah, so imagine if you showed this to someone in the summertime. Hey, like Rudiger, Militao, Inigo Martinez, Kubarsi,
Yeah,
Raul. Who is this is starting in your combined 11? Raul, who?
yeah. Who's that
I
guy?
mean,
Wait,
yeah,
yeah. I thought Asensio left, bro, to Villa, Aston
yeah. Who?
Villa.
But in preseason, he wasn't even. I mean, he was, but all the talk was
Bro,
about Juan
bro,
Martinez and Jacobo.
bro. Apparently, this guy was like the fourth choice. Like it was Jacobo,
Yeah,
Joan. He was like the fourth choice. But hey, here we are, Raul Asensio, one of the best defenders in the league.
Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me plenty of questions, man.
Do you like this T-shirt? It says "Never Give Up" and it's a Real Madrid Viking, and
Bro,
it says 9248 on his helmet. I don't know if you can see, and there's a Managing Madrid logo here. If you like it, I'm gonna bring you one this summer when I see you.
I love that t-shirt. You want to know what I love more?
Hmm.
How it fits. Those biceps, bro. They look good.
I ate a little bit too much last night, so I'm unnecessarily filled out. So I'll bring you one though. If you guys like this shirt, this is designed by Finn. It's only on sale for 2 more days, March 31st. So 2 to 3 more days, and then it disappears forever. I put the link in the show notes and in the chat. You can go cop it. This is like the time of the year where I really want to wear stuff like this because I feel like
Yeah.
the spiritual energy we need to give to the team of never giving up is important. Also wanted to give a thank you to everyone who joined. I mean, this was a big week in terms of the Trent news. So we discussed a lot about Trent behind the scenes over on patreon.com/managing Madrid. I really enjoyed the monthly Zoom call we did with our members on Wednesday. And then thank you for all the questions you submitted to Lucas and I yesterday. All that bonus content is over on patreon.com/managing Madrid. Everyone should know this, but just in case, we do have a lot of Spanish speakers who would enjoy your content. Will Los Futbolitos on YouTube, go check it out. And Angelo Valdes. It's kind of like it says it's kind of vague. It says Will on his screen, but this guy is probably overqualified to be on this podcast. He's a walking brand by himself. So go follow his stuff, Mr. Angelo Valdes and Los Futbolitos on YouTube. Thanks so much for your time, Will. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. And please, I don't do this enough. Please hit like. I never say that. Hit like on this video and subscribe. It's a huge help to the channel. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Peace out.